Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Blazer Victory Podcast. John Duncan here, and of course, I'm joined as always with both of my co-hosts, Darian Smith and Jimmy Marion, and we've got another special episode of Blazer Victory Podcast here for you all tonight. American Championship Semifinals special. Woo woo! So that does mean UAB took care of business in the quarterfinals, and they did 94-77 over the East Carolina Pirates. But before we get into that game, y'all know the drill. This series is going to be each episode 20 minutes or less. We want to get you all. Here's what happened. Here's what to look for. Bam, done. Really quick, and it's late at night, 11:30 on a Friday night, and bad weather coming. So everybody stay safe. But before we get into it, this episode of the Blazer Victory Podcast is brought to you by Cahaba Brewing Company. And shout out to Cahaba Brewing Company. We had another watch party. Unfortunately, we had to end it at halftime due to the approaching bad weather. We wanted to make sure to get all the people involved in the watch party home, especially the workers at Cahaba that do a fantastic job in serving plenty of people, but especially our watch party. So shout out again to Cahaba for being a great partner, and I'm gonna pop this blood orange blonde. Let's see. Hopefully that made the mic. And let's get down to business, baby. 94-77, man. Hey, guys, UAB kicked that ass, and Yaxel Lindebor, Yaxel, career high 30 points. Just a assist or two short of getting that triple double. But man, it was great to see Yaks getting back to Yaks, man, and he showed it. And yeah, Darren, what are your just initial reaction from this quarterfinal matchup?
Yeah, when you say Yaks getting back to Yaks, I think what you mean about when you say that is like the versatility. You know, he has so much versatility in his game, man. His usefulness, his impact, his imprint on the game is in so many areas. 30 points, 20 rebounds, seven of them which were offensive, eight assists. Was that five steals? Was it four blocks?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just dominant defensively. That's dominant offensively. That's just it's leadership, but also in the way that he scores the ball, right? Like that's going to be his big calling card in the NBA because he's going to go to the NBA. But that's going to be his big calling card. And I know a lot of scouts was looking at this game. This guy is a multi-purpose tool. Like whatever type of game he can play in. He can be a small ball center. He can guard wings. The guy can switch. We seen UAB run a switching type of defense today. No problem. Yaks was getting stops on the perimeter. Yaks was getting stops on the inside. Yaks was grabbing grown man rebounds. Yaks was getting isolations in the mid range. They tried to force him left. He said, "Okay, I'll fake right, go left, pull up, free throw line, cash. I'm gonna talk a little noise to you. Up, I'm a spot up. I'm gonna spot up behind the 3-point line, cash. I'm taking it hard. I'm getting to the rim. I'm getting caught in the air. Up, I see CC cutting wide open dunk. He's a playmaker. Like, golly, what can this guy? He's scoring in isolation. He is very much a connective type of guy that loves to keep the ball moving. He's gonna keep the ball moving, swing Tyron Moore, swing, up, get Yaks on the cut, and one layup. Like he can do it. So his versatility is not only in his overall game as far as defense, rebounding, and scoring, but it's also in his scoring. Three levels. He is 6'9". He is about 240. I mean, what else are we what are we talking about right now, bro? Like I'm really, and this really is like a Yaks propaganda show right now because honestly, I just really feel like this guy should be a first round pick. I'm not even talking about second round. He definitely should be a first round because his usefulness, like this was the perfect game to show it. I'm glad that we getting this version of Yaks in the he peaked last year. Like he just know when it's time. So when you want to talk about get big games, we talking about mental fortitude, we talking about leadership. This is the tournament. We have to win to get in. We're gonna have two more to go, and I know it's other players that we're gonna talk about, but I just wanted to make sure I really got the Yaks propaganda off and just let everybody know how much he impacts the game in so many different ways.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't even talk about was the fact that Yaks had 0 turnovers in 40 minutes played, 8 assists, 0 turnovers. So, I mean, again, that just speaks volume. This isn't like your traditional like post center who's not got the ball like up and running up and down the court and having the pressures that he has, and he's a playmaker, right? So he's a guy that's got the ball in his hands, and that's mighty impressive to not just put up the points, the rebounds, the assists, the steals, the blocks, but to do all of that, to be that involved and that engaged with the game, and to turn over the ball 0 times.
Yeah, knock on wood, 6 total turnovers for UAB tonight. That hey, that's elite level basketball. Like we always say, like if you can limit it to 10 or less, that's good. 6, hey, phenomenal. And the defensive effort was there tonight. I mean, I know we still give up 77, but that's less than 80. That for damn sure that was better than the last outcome against East Carolina and Greenville, where you give up 50 plus points in the second half.
I'd say the first half defensive effort was good. Second half they shot 55% from the field and
Yeah,
46% from deep. But a lot of that was
yeah.
that like late, like I
Oh
was
yeah,
feeling, they cut the lead to whatever it was, like 9, 8 points there late, blah blah blah. I think this was a game in which UAB led by what, as much as 18.
yeah.
Um, but speaking of leading by 18, like again, how many games is that during conference play in which UAB's held like a significant double-digit lead, like in these ball games? So,
And held
um,
on to it.
and
Yeah.
held on to. That's
This
right. Even
time,
though, even though they're trying to hack our point guard at the end, like a hack a
Oh
shack with Jabori McGee. He went to the line.
man.
He only missed one. Did a good job, and even hit that three. That was who hit the three at the end, I think, John. Right, the last play.
Yes, it was
Um,
Jabari. Yeah.
yeah, Jabori McGee with the three. But hey, shout out to Jabori because that's a game in which I think at the time that he started getting hacked, he only had 2 points. Wasn't playing his best performance, especially as he's been doing as of late. So they put him on the line, and he went to the line and hit those first two and helped close out that ball game.
And guys,
yeah.
we've hit on Christian Coleman. Solid performance.
Yeah.
13 points, 6 of 9 from the field. Only three rebounds, but I mean only one turnover.
How many rebounds
Christian.
were left for other people though? Yaks took all of them.
Hey, man, Yax was a beast, man. Grown man tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Who's got one of those
Yeah.
Yaks or Lindenborg signed cards? We need to get one of those for the Blazer Victory podcast.
Please. Hey, Thomas, I saw you reaching out in the one of those Facebook groups. Like, hey, can we buy these? Hey, where are they? I ain't seen them. Like, we look at eBay.
Hey, we're gonna have to jump in. We're gonna have to jump in Yaks DMs, maybe. Come on, Yaks. But you
Let's
know what?
go.
I was really impressed and I was really pleased. I know the guys probably got sick of me talking about it, but knowing your personnel, scouting your opponent, knowing their tendencies and playing them and forcing them into things that they don't want to do. East Carolina is a team that is not a very good shooting team, right? Now this is college athletics. You got percentages and whatever, but these are guys that made it on scholarship. It's really hard to play basketball at this level. They're gonna make open shots, right? Like you can't just be a super trash guard that can't shoot at all out there. But I would close out short. I would definitely help off of certain guys. So everybody except number 3, Felton. That was what I was saying the whole game. Like, hey, number 12, number 1, if y'all gonna shoot y'all way into a win, be my guest, But I think we did a good job of doing just that. Well, second half, Felton still got loose. He's a good player. I like him.
Hmm.
What is he? Can we get him? He's a senior.
Who knows? Even if he's a
He was
senior, I
a
mean, they're
transfer
just
from Temple, right? He was a
no.
transfer.
That's Riley. Is that
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
number 12? Yeah, we're talking about number 3. I don't know if RJ Felton asked him that tonight, and I think he said that RJ Felton has started out East Carolina, if I heard him right. But hey, even if you're a senior these days, they're just handing out extra eligibility. So who even knows?
Yeah, so man, I wish we could get him. I like him. He's built like a tank. He's like got the Jabor McGee build, right? Like they look like football players, but he can shoulder you, get you off. If you give him some ounce of space, he putting it up. Like he can shoot. I'm like, man, that's a complete player. But he was the only one that got his, and I'm cool with that. I'm not really. I didn't really look at all the other guys' stats like that. I'm just going by what I saw with the game, and I know I didn't get to see a portion of it because we had to leave. So I was on the road. But at the same time, I was pleased with overall. We had some slips here and there, but overall, I was pleased with how we played defensively. It looked like we looked at the scouting report. It looked like we executed a plan defensively. Thank you. We didn't fall apart. We didn't have those mental blocks that would piss me off that we would have. I know we talked about that with CC. No, CC did good.
Hmm.
Everybody stuck to their cues, and to me, that is the. I know Yak put up monster numbers, but if we're talking about winning the tournament, we ain't talking about winning monster numbers. We're talking about winning this tournament, right? Because we got North Texas up next. We all know what type of game that's gonna be. So if it's one thing we're gonna have to do in that game, it's gonna have to know your personnel, and you're going to have to execute the game plan, especially defensively. So this really gives me some encouragement that we'll be able to do that the next game.
Jimmy, any last words on quarterfinals?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a Blazer Victory podcast without Jimmy talking about Tony.
Whoop
I mean,
whoop.
Tony. I mean, I know we're talking about Yaxel Lindenborg chasing that triple double, but how about Tony getting his first career double double? And
Damn.
yeah,
Okay.
It was at one point during the ball game where he was like 3 of 8 from three, and I was just sitting back there thinking, like, how crazy are things where you got Tony taking nearly like 10 threes in a game. It's like he's became that guy during conference play where he's gotten on a heater. Every time he shoots a three, thinking it's going in. If it doesn't go in, it might be an air ball, which is fine because a miss is a miss. But he's making a lot of threes and he's opening up things for other people, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. Um, as you look across this UAB team, there are several, as we were just talking about, seniors that have extra opportunity remaining. But Tony is one that is a true senior in the fact that every game is his last game here in Division One, and he sure as hell played that way tonight. 10 big rebounds and 4 assists in 32 minutes. So again, his final box score of 11 points, 10 boards, 3 made threes, 4 assists in 32 minutes play was a big reason why UAB won this game. And I'm hoping that he continues that play throughout the rest of this tournament.
That was his first career double double.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Wow.
They said he
He's
had a little
coming.
smirk on his. That the announcer was saying he had a little smirk on his face after that 10th rebound. So, hey,
Whoop,
and if he did,
whoop.
he deserved it, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, Yax deserved to talk that noise, man. We were talking about that at the watch party. We're like, hey, Yax early on was talking, man. Hey, I like it. And he backed it up. Um, let's transition. We're about 15 minutes into it. Let's transition previewing this semifinal matchup against North Texas. Oh, North Texas. How many times are we gonna play this team with all the marbles on the line? Darian,
Yeah.
what's the simple answer? How do you beat North Texas? How do you beat North Texas?
I think the same thing has been apparent with North Texas, and maybe they've improved over this year. I haven't watched enough, other than when they play us. But it seems like they've always struggled with playmaking. That could be systematically I would just switch and then fight like hell in the post and get ready to like if the, front the post and have a guy come underneath if it make the pass really difficult. But I would just switch everything. They try to generate offense with running plays, because I don't think they have a guy that can just they they don't have a Yaks, they don't have a Vasquez. I feel like that can just kind of break down the defense off a pick and roll, just create a mismatch, create a 2 versus 1. They don't have a guy like that. They have guys that can run plays, and they're always going to play tough defense. They're always going to rebound and play physical, fundamental ball. They're always going to force you into try. They're going to try to force you into making a mistake and create easy offense. That's what they want to do. Get a turnover, right? Get out. They don't want to have to set up. If you can set up and get your half court defense set up, they have a tough time scoring. They have a tough time. Don't give them those. They can make those corner threes. If you leave them open, they make them. That's just how they roll. They've always been like that.
And Darian, what's the
I
problem with the 1-3-1?
don't.
Hey, them
I
corner
hope.
threes, man.
I hope because that stuff like that is every corner three made
Yeah.
by North Texas is kind of like shit. Because blur me out. I've been drinking,
Oh,
y'all. My bad.
hey, I ain't blurring.
Kahaba is Kahaba, but every corner three by North Texas is like dang. That's a
Yeah.
clean version. There's like dang because you only get so many opportunities against this team. They're so good defensively. So hopefully we can just play good, solid defense. We know it's going to be a lower score game. It's not going to be high scoring, right? That's just what it is. We can beat this team though. Like I feel if I was the bet, if I was a betting man, I would bet on this. I think we're a better team. I think they execute more consistently than we do though. So it's gonna come down to can we execute and can our talent take us over the top? I think we can. I trust in AK's leadership. I don't know, but it's going to be on the players because North Texas is not going to give this game to us. Y'all know that.
All right. Same old with North Texas. I mean, um, so I do not, as we're recording this 11:30 p.m. March 14th, I do not see any odds or lines set for this game. But
What would
hey,
you what would you think that line would be? What would you say the spread would be?
we'll still pick them. I mean, you might you minus 1.5 to either side, and you could talk me into it, and it wouldn't surprise me though for UAB to be the betting favorite. But right now, I don't know. I mean, I didn't get. I watched the whole first half of the quarterfinal matchup between North Texas and Tulsa led that game at half, 31-26. But North
What
Texas,
happened?
yeah, right, yeah, 77-59, outscores
Mm,
Tulsa 51-28 the second half. I
North.
guess North Texas just made shots because they were abysmal in that first half. I think they were shooting like 28% from the field in the first half.
And they put
But
the clamps on Tulsa like to start the second half. I mean, Tulsa, I mean, they couldn't get a field goal. They had like a free throw or two, but it was the combination of them actually, to John's point, like, numbers in their favor. They were able to hit a couple shots and then they just put the absolute clamps. And that's where, to me, it's like if what would be my wish list in this game? Well, one, I want UAB to get out to an early lead. Now, we saw that in our first matchup against North Texas this year, and we weren't able to hold on to that lead. But also, I'd love to see Sissoko get 2 early fouls, a sit. I'd love to see us, be going through Yaks and Christian Coleman as a Riro down low. And I think it was last game. No, excuse me. It was the first game in which they had a guy coming off the bench who I think it was like a transfer from like the big, wherever it's from, Kansas or somewhere. Like I think it was Latrell Joseph or something that hit like 6 threes against us. You remember sitting at Cahaba? He had like 20 points. So ultimately, like Hatton Wright, I feel like at this point is going to get his. Like I feel like he's a 20-point game waiting to happen. He unfortunately hit that big shot against us. What was it, on New Year's Day or whatever it was. So I feel like he's going to get his, but I think the formula for UAB is going to be about the same as it always is. I think that you're going to have to, defend the glass. You're going to have to get those second chance points. You're going to have to get the free throw line and convert. And we need another big game from Yax or Lindenborg. We need at least, if you got two of our guards that have a semi-good game that can get you 10 plus points, like that's good. You can't, rely on just Yax to carry you home. And ultimately, I think that if UAB can force North Texas into, let's call it 12 or 13 turnovers, is around that magic number to get out in the open floor and to get some open opportunities, some easy opportunities. Like that's always key. I was looking at it. UAB in the game at Bartow forced, I think, North Texan to 15 turnovers and won that matchup. They forced North Texan to 9 in the first matchup. So as always, how do you make up for this team that's going to try to limit your possessions? You're going to take some from them, and you're going to try to make some more out of turn them over. So hopefully UAB is able to get out to a good start, maybe get someone like Sissoko out in foul trouble, get in the open court. That way it doesn't just become what North Texas wants it to be, which is an absolute grind. AK says it's like going to the dentist. Well, we've already gone twice this year. We don't need to go 3 times. So we're going to have to go a third time.
So you saying force them into turnovers. So you saying get in the 1-3-1?
I mean,
we're gonna mix and match. We're gonna go 1-3-1, 2-3. We're gonna go 2-3. We're gonna go man.
You know
we're
how
gonna
Andy mixes it up, yeah.
You never know what's coming.
Oh no, because like I said, every corner 3 against this.
Darian
this
loves the 1-3-1. Darian loves
dog.
the 1-3-1.
And listen.
That's what he coaches with his little league, right? You coach the 1-3-1.
and that's why AK sits in the position that he sits in. I'm not the coach because he's been great as a coach here, and I'm still over here like the 1-3-1 just give me the.
But when it works
heebie-jeebies.
though, it's like, oh damn, But when they start hitting those corner threes or wide open threes, I'm
Get
like,
out of it, yeah.
Yeah, let's just switch it up.
I guess it's just the ease of the shots that can be produced. If a team executes against it, you can get some really,
Dude.
really easy shots against it. And I'm just like, I don't want to risk it, man. This team doesn't have playmakers like that. Make them beat you. I think we're good enough if we can just make them beat us. But I'm not the head coach. AK is. AK does a way better job than some
He's the
guys
GOAT, man. He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. So I trust him. And Ryan Cross and Rob Williams, all them guys, I trust them way over what I would say, but it still
I'm gonna
gives
go out
me
I'm gonna go on the ledge
me.
here and say that if Yax gets us 30 points, 20 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, 4 blocks, whatever the hell we got, and 0 turnovers, I think UAB might have a chance in this game. What do you guys think?
100%.
If that was the case, we win by more than 10 and just North Texas.
I don't care. Hey, just get the dub and move to the championship. Hey, well, that is 24 minutes. So this game, hey, no watch party at Cahaba. Seriously, everybody be safe. Saturday. It's supposed to get real bad. It reminds me of April 27th, 2011. Man, just be safe. Watch the game at home. Be safe. No watch party. 4:00. It will be televised on ESPN2 between North Texas and UAB, and the other semifinal matchup, Memphis and Tulane, will be at 2:00 on ESPN2. So, tons of great basketball to watch, and hopefully we'll be back, weather permitting, Saturday night to give you a championship preview. But Darian, go ahead and send us out until next time.
Gotta watch my words because I've been drinking. Go, baby, Blazers.
Go Zers.